Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Gigawatt, the Back to the Future Transformers crossover figure to celebrate the Back to the Future 35th anniversary. They've done a bunch of these crossover figures. We've seen Ectotron for Ghostbusters, they did Maverick for Top Gun, now they're doing a Blackbird one for X-Men, so I'm having a lot of fun with these. And at first they did a wave of these that were Walmart exclusive, and there were only 1,985 of them because 1985 is the year that Back to the Future came out. And they had, like, I think they were numbered, and they had like a special sticker on them saying that they were from the limited edition. They sold out almost instantaneously. But now these things are starting to show up at GameStop, Hasbro Pulse, other places. I think Target even has them as well. So if you missed out on that first really exclusive wave, you can still get one of the figures. I actually think it worked out better because they have tinted the window. The front window here, the windshield, has been tinted. So you don't see all the plastic bits inside for the transformation. I actually think it looks much better. And plus I don't have to feel guilty about opening the super limited edition one because this is just the normal edition. So if you're one of those people that really wanted the original one because you wanted to keep it sealed, go for it. But if you just wanted the figure to open it up and play with it, then this is the way to go. So definitely just check out GameStop, Target, Hasbro Pulse. Very excited to get this. I think it looks great. I think the car looks fantastic. The robot mode looks pretty neat. You have the G1-esque packaging, which I think is really cool. Even has the transformation steps here on the top like the old packaging. Picture of the DeLorean in both robot mode and vehicle mode here on the bottom. Same on the side. I do think it's weird though. There's something about, like, obviously over here they have this. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's to simulate it coming out of the back of the truck. Because I did notice that this flap is like completely exposed over here. And we're going to cut the tape. And I wonder if they wanted this to be like the back of the truck with it folding down and then coming out. But it's not going to roll out. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going for there. But here are tech specs and kind of a picture of the DeLorean time traveling here on the back. Either way, I think the packaging is pretty neat. I'm going to go ahead, get them out of there, and we're going to take a closer look. So here is the DeLorean in vehicle mode, and I just want to get something out of the way real quick. I probably said Gigawatt earlier in this video, and every time I've been looking at it online, and just basically the whole life of this figure, I've been thinking of it as Gigawatt, but then when I think to myself, in the movie, they pronounced it Gigawatt. So I'm going to call him Gigawatt from now on, because it has to do with the measurement of electricity that they need to power the DeLorean to light the flux capacitor, so it should be Gigawatt. In any case, it looks great. The DeLorean looks really fantastic. I think they did a great job. You can see all the wires and everything going on here. Really, really cool. I love the tinted windshield. I guess they couldn't put the DMC on the front. Probably like a licensing thing. They didn't want to pay for extra licensing. You can see the robot head underneath, and you can see the flux capacitor here. Otherwise, not too much as far as robot kibble goes. You can open up the doors like they do on the actual DeLorean, but there's no like seating or anything. It's just robot parts. So if you wanted to just kind of get the pose with the door open, you could, but it doesn't have any room to put a figure or anything inside. Not that it comes with a figure, but just wanted to point that out. Love that tinted windshield though. I can't get over that enough. It looks so much better than just seeing, like, you can still kind of see the plastic inside, but just, I mean, even like this, it looks so much better. I can't get over it. So he does come with some accessories. He has the like metal rod that you have to put in for when Marty wants to get back to 1985 from 55. So if I zoom out here, mine's a little crooked, I think, just from being in the packaging, but you can go ahead and have that hit the wire, sending the electricity into the flux capacitor. It does also come with a little Mr. Fusion, so you can peg that on back here. And for some reason, mine doesn't really want to peg in all that well. I don't know why. Maybe I have it attached backwards or something. Maybe that fits a little bit better that way. But you can get the Mr. Fusion, which is pretty cool. And then you can actually flip the wheels down, so you can get the flight mode from the end of the first movie and, of course, the second movie. So we'll go ahead and flip those down, so then you can have the flight mode. Pretty cool. I'm going to take these off just because I feel like that Mr. Fusion is going to fall off at any moment. But otherwise, it's very cool. They did a really nice job. I think aesthetically, the DeLorean looks fantastic. All of the detailing even has a little out-of-time license plate there, as you can see. They have the wheels flip down for the flight mode. They have the both versions of powering it included. He also comes with just this kind of normal gun accessory. And you can plug in, I think you can plug this in here, can't you? I know you can plug it on the back. It looks like it's the same connection though. So I don't know why you couldn't. Yeah, there you go. You can peg it on the top if you want. So I just think that's fun. But yeah, they have you plug it on the back. But anyway, that's a little gun accessory. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's go ahead and let's get him into transformation. Now, right off the bat, I don't know if anyone has pointed this out yet. Probably have. This is a heavily remolded Siege Sideswipe. It transforms very similarly. I'll do a comparison once we get him into robot mode, but it is a very heavily modified Siege Sideswipe. So if you're familiar with that transformation at all, it's very similar. We'll go ahead and start by opening the doors and just kind of having them stay open like so. We're going to open up these flaps here on the bottom. The legs are going to flip all the way around. We're going to spin it at the waist 180 degrees. We're going to separate it. You can actually push on these to help you flip out the feet, and that will also enable you to actually get a knee bend, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to. And it's still not even a full knee bend. It kind of stops about halfway. But you can push those in, close that up, and there you go. And again, if you're familiar with Sideswipe at all, that's exactly how Sideswipe transforms. Let me zoom out here and move this up. At this point, you're going to, there's a weird little flap here, and I always forget about this. You can see the little pin right here. So just this tiny little bit of the car you have to get, and then this will pop off and swivel around, and then it'll stop there. So do that on both sides. And then once you have that, you can flip the hands out. And as you can see, very similar to how the hands transform for Sideswipe. Okay, so at this point, we're going to flip the wheels around like this. And the wheels are a little awkward because it looks like you can almost turn them twice. But it's just like this piece rotates 190 degrees, and then just the wheels rotate another 90 degrees. So the whole piece doesn't rotate 180, just to keep that in mind. And then you're going to rotate this down. When you get about halfway, you want to flip this. I guess I always forget which way you have to push this. Push it like this, so you can flip around the flux capacitor. Do I have to do it the other way? No, I think you want to do it this way. I always have trouble with it though. There we go. So flip that around. That'll click into place. Make sure the wheels are where they need to go. This tab here is going to tab in right there. You want to have the arms out a little bit. So after we tab this in, there is a tab right here, which is going to tab into the arm, or the arm is going to tab into it, I should say, to kind of shore that all together. So tab those two in, and then here is Gigawatt in robot mode. Overall, I think he looks really great. The hood of the car is a huge chess piece, but I really like the flux capacitor with the time circuits. You can see October 26, 1985, October 21st, 2015, November 12th, 1955. So those are kind of his big three dates, which I think is really cool that they have that on there. The head sculpt is good. He's got kind of like goggles on. Unfortunately, for some reason, mine, the head does not want to stay back. Like you can see that I can rotate it back, but then he always comes back forward. I don't really know why that is. But the head can move from side to side. You have a hinge here and a shoulder swivel. Bicep swivel 90 degrees in the elbow. Nothing in the wrist because you saw it rotates into the forearms. Waist can swivel. Ball joint in the hip. Thigh swivel. Not quite 90 degrees, more like 45 degrees in the knee there. And then you have the ankle tilt. So pretty much what you'd expect. The wheels, or the wheels, I want to say wings. The doors of the DeLorean are on the back, kind of like wings, is what I was trying to say, as you can see. And I don't mind that. I think that's fine. Um, and again, just here is side swipe. Well, technically this is Tiger Track, but you can see how the crotch is very, very similar. It's exactly molded the same. The legs look the same. The legs act the same, even though they're not molded the same. The arms are pretty much exactly the same. And you can even tell, because if I take this off, you can see how he has the two slots there around the head. He actually has those too, so you could actually peg this in up here if you wanted to. That's how you can tell it's definitely a retooled version of Sideswipe. And I don't mind it. I like Sideswipe. I just think it's funny that I just realized it. And like I said, I'm sure other reviewers have pointed it out by now. But it's still a good toy. He's really nice. I think he looks great. Let's go ahead and bring in his accessories here. So he has the gun. And then he has this, which a lot of pictures have shown him kind of like wearing that as a, I don't know, melee weapon. I guess technically you could swivel this around and he could use it as kind of a hook weapon. Could be neat. Or, you know, do some light Cybertronian dentistry, you know. The imagination is your limitation, so whatever you can come up with. But I think it's cool that it has a peg there, so you can do more than just be an accessory for the vehicle mode, so I appreciate that. But yeah, he looks good. Like I said, the only thing I have to complain about is I wish mine wasn't looking down so much. And I don't really understand why. Like, if I turn it around, he'll look up no problem. But I really can't get him to look... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I'll have to play with that later, but he still looks good. I like him quite a bit. I really like the flux capacitor and the time circuits on the chest. I'm glad they didn't just keep it, you know, the just giant barrel chest with the hood of the DeLorean there. They added that to give it a little bit of personality, which I really like. I think Gigawatt is a fantastic addition to the Transformers crossover line. I really liked Ectotron as well, but I think Gigawatt is a little bit more cohesive, especially since he's remolded from Sideswipe, which is a really good mold. It makes him seem a little bit more cohesive in robot mode. Ectotron, they had to work from the car into the robot, and I'm sure they did that a little bit here as well. But with Ectotron, he's kind of got like those giant shoulder pads and a couple other pieces that just don't flow as well in robot mode because they had to have like somewhere to store the extra car bits. I think Gigawatt really works. He looks fantastic in the DeLorean mode. He looks great in the robot mode. And they did a nice job of utilizing an existing mold and making it work for this. And I think they really did a good job with it. We're going to see something very similar when it comes to the Blackbird for X-Men, because I believe that's Studio Series Jetfire that they're going to remake into the Blackbird. So they do a nice job. They really do. It's a heavy retool, you know, to suit their needs, but I think it really works. I really like this guy quite a bit. So if you're definitely in the market for Gigawatt, I would tell you to check GameStop, Hasbro Pulse, even Amazon at this point. I think Target as well should be able to find them. Now, I will say it's a retool of a $20 figure and it's a $30 price point, so there's that to kind of sit with, but I think that they've remolded enough. I'm sure licensing is a part of it. There's extra accessories. I think it's worth it. Even though it's a $10 price hike, I think that there's enough extra love put into this, and again, licensing rights, that make it worth that, you know, extra $10 as opposed to one of the many Sideswipe repaints that you would pay $20 for. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too much to complain about this guy. I think he's great. I really like the accessories that they gave us. I like that they included the flight mode for the car. They gave us both the Mr. Fusion and the large hook arm, so you can simulate whatever scenes from whatever movies as far as the time traveling goes. They did a really nice job here. I definitely recommend adding this to your collection. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.